So I'm going to start doing something a little different on top of what else I've been doing. I decided that I'm going to start journaling kind of when I feel like a growth in my experience or a change in my ascension. Nothing to do with lessons, just what I'm personally going through. For anyone who's possibly going through their own spiritual ego death journey and not sure, is anything normal these days, but my experience, so then that way someone can, listen to my story and then have their own story. So, if you've been following Wounds of Light, all of this has pretty much started for me in April. Easter morning of 2021 this year, I woke up and I had God with me, and I've let in about bits and pieces of my actual story, but not really the whole thing. And so I think that's just where I'm going to start at, and that way when my lessons go out, I'm still just showing the growth spiritually behind, closed doors, behind the whiteboard, what's really going on. And, Easter morning I woke up, completely summoned my true self, I guess, my highest self, just not honoring her with the divine. And the night before, I had sent that email to my twin flame, just laying it all out there. Why I had codependency issues, why I was trauma bonding, why I loved his abuse. I laid it all out. And it was just huge growth for me to finally speak and, purify myself and get that all out. And it really started that journey in the time just for me to grow up and walk away too. Was the summer before, last summer, and through the holidays. So much stuff had happened with my family too, so keep in mind as we go through these next few videos here, because they're going to get really personal and deep and dark and twisty. And last summer was pretty much my breaking point for my twin flame and I. It shattered my heart. I felt so abandoned. Whatever his own reasons, we just couldn't, he would refuse to even give me the time of day anymore, even though I know that's not how he truly felt. And it was just like a lie, and it hurt so bad. And then come to the holidays and finding out that my family had COVID and I wasn't being told, and it was kind of just my breaking point for that too. So I had breaking point after breaking point, and then my third breaking point, because every cycle comes in threes, right? The breaking point that I had hit was with my health. I caused so much self-harm throughout the first 31 years of my life at that point, that I made myself so sick from the stress. There's all these different ways, and we're going to talk about it a lot these few days, but my self-harm experience, I caused myself so much stress in my life that once I had hit the 4th or 5th year, maybe the 6th year of fibromyalgia, came to me last fall. So last fall, my fibro had finally gotten to the worst it's ever gotten. I had flare after flare after flare after flare, finally getting a flare spot right here. And my whole face would flare up. Each flare would last 3 days. It was just brutal. And here I was, so heartbroken. I was so burdening myself on the inside that I had no idea that the pain that I had on the inside, the heartbrokenness, the abandonment, the feeling of not being good enough, caused so much damage within. But I don't want that for you. And that's why I'm sharing these personal experiences. Last fall, I was so stressed out that my body went into shock. My skin started attacking itself. I had this huge ring right here. But it would just itch and itch and itch, and it was so deteriorated. The more I washed my hands during a pandemic in the fall and the winter, the drier it got, but it was already so dry. The same thing was happening on my face. And I still fight this issue to this day. If I get emotionally stressed out, my face acts up. And it started back in November as well with my hand issue. And back at that time, I thought that, you know, because my stomach went into shock as well last November, December. I was so stressed out that my stomach's nerve system went into shock. I could barely eat. I have so much stomach aches every single day for months now. Last November, you guys, is what I'm talking about, when my self-harm journey finally gave up on myself and just sent me into complete overdrive, that I had a whole lifestyle change, and not like in the positive. I had a whole lifestyle change in the fact that my stomach was no longer cooperating with me. I couldn't do solid foods. I couldn't do anything spicy, which I love spicy food. I couldn't do any nightshades, which is food or supplements or plant products that cause inflammation in the body. So all my spicy food was gone. Peppers were gone. Coffee was supposed to be gone, but I could have half of a cup one day, half of a cup, and I had to sip it throughout the day. I couldn't just gulp it down. And if I did, my stomach would just never act the same. I could never vomit. I am not a vomiter. I couldn't even vomit when I was pregnant. I just have to sit in that nausea to the point where I'm in the spins, to the point where I have to go lay down and I'm still in the spins, to the point where I don't even have an appetite anymore. And I'm so trained to just eat because I need to eat, because that is my fuel. Food is fuel. It's not a privilege to just go, you know, to eat whatever we want, or to eat all of the bad stuff and think that we're going to be okay, when all of that is man-made creative process. Eating as natural as possible is so important. I don't think I ever knew how important it was until my stomach had gone into shock and I couldn't eat anymore. I was having smoothies and soup broths. That was pretty much it. My solids were applesauce and bananas. I can't do gluten. I have never been able to really do gluten. I've had gluten issues here and there without being a celiac. Right after my daughter was born, I had my gallbladder removed because during pregnancy, it pretty much just... So since my gallbladder's taken out now, I've always had extra special issues with gluten. And so back in November and the fall time, I had eaten gluten during Thanksgiving, because who the fuck's not going to eat gluten on Thanksgiving? And that was when my skin had started acting up. But it was also during that time where my heart had just sent into overdrive. My heart was just broken. It broke. And I was so emotionally distraught that I didn't even know that it wasn't because I ate gluten. It was because I was literally starving myself from emotions on the inside. I was not TLCing. I was not taking care of myself. At that time, I was not awakened. My goggles were not off of my virtual reality. At that time, I was so far gone in being codependent, and no one there to be codependent with me. My twin flame had completely, abandoned, which we always had that running and chasing. But last summer, it wasn't like our typical 3 to 4 years before that. Last summer, it was words, and last summer, it was necessary hurt so I wouldn't come back. And when my stomach went into shock, I didn't realize that's how sick I had made myself from the stress, to where even now, today, July, August, almost a whole year later, I'm still suffering from that stress that I put myself through for all of my life. And that is why I'm telling you this. This is why I am, sharing my deepest troubles every single day now that I deal with you. Because I don't want you to get to that point that I'm at. I don't want you to have to go on a liquid diet because your stomach cannot handle it. I have to smoke marijuana just to get an appetite. Yeah. I pick and choose when I finally have had enough. I try everything before I get to the marijuana point, where I try a snack, I try to eat this, I try to drink a little, I try to lay down, I try to stretch. You know, there's just nothing that I can do sometimes until I'm able to smoke. It completely takes away that stomach pain and it brings my appetite back, or I don't get that appetite and I still am able just to get something down. Therefore, I can eat. You know, since last November, I've lost a lot of physical weight. I've always fought my way as a woman who has an ovarian disease called PCOS. It's a hormone imbalance, which is a huge weight fluctuator. Last fall, I lost so much of that weight because I couldn't eat. And all of that weight that was staying on my body was because I was spiritually blocking myself. I was limiting myself, right? So nowadays, I fight exhaustion. I'm so tired. I don't have fibro, anxiety, CPTSD anymore, but I'm still suffering from the stress that my stomach took on in my body. I have to be really choosy as a mom of a 4-year-old, you know, because I'm still technically a single parent. You know, just because Jason and I are together, it's not his responsibility yet. And, you know, he's my partner, but he didn't take on that duty legally. So I still consider myself a single mom for so long. So it just is really exhausting, and I have to be careful. I have to pick and choose each activity that I'm doing every day. Or if I go and do this day, then the next day I have to rest. And it's kind of just like the same exhaustion that I would feel in fibromyalgia, but it's different because I don't feel that physically tired. I just feel tired. Like I need to go take a nap. That's not fair to my daughter. It wasn't fair to my daughter then, and it's not fair to my daughter now, but it's the only way because it's my recovery. So not only do I have mind recovery, soul recovery, now I have physical recovery from all of that stress that I've been putting myself through for so long that even now to this day, I don't know if I'm going to have a solid meal. So since Easter, it's been a lot better since I've spiritually grown and gotten rid of my inner child wounds, and since I've healed and I've been able to share God's love and light with you. And I've been able to get a lot better. There's been plenty of days where I've been able to go back to having 2 meals a day or even just 1 meal a day. And meals actually being like the protein, vegetables, or salads, or, you know, true food. But then there's some times where I'm like, I'm back at smoothie. I can't do it. And it's just because I am fighting the spiritual leveling up and all of these different outside forces. Like they're literally like spiritual attacks or spiritual tests that the divine is giving me. And y'all, I have my glasses off, so I can't see the time, but I don't want this one to be a huge one. I just want it to be little. I just want to tell you, don't stress. Worry about self-harm, because even now, where the whole point of this journal entry is not only am I still suffering months later from my stomach, I have no idea if my stomach will ever be better. I have no idea if it will ever be 100%. But every single day I fight my stomach aches and fight myself eating. I fight myself on eating something that I physically need to be in my human form, right? I don't want that for you. You know, the next thing that I want to journal in is that bringing up Easter morning when I woke up and I just had that no, like I was just a different person and God was with me, Jehovah. And you know, I'm planning to share what led me up to that in between April and May. In May, when everything really just happened for me at the end there, on my own authentic spiritual ascension day. Like I was able to figure out the time and break down time and able to get my day of ascension through clues and signs and things that I was opening my mind to. And I was able to knock it down to the day of that I had to choose. I had to choose between my twin flame and I had to choose between Jason, or it was forever going to be it. And I would lose my opportunity. I would lose my opportunity to show the divine that I picked and I made the right choice for me. If you go back on my Facebook, you'll see the video of that day. It was May 23rd. May 23rd. I talked about don't block the highest timeline for yourself. May 23rd, I chose Jason because I had answered the call. May 23rd, was also the day of my first stepdad's birthday. My one of two very first abusers. So not only did the cycle end, a new one began on a day of my abuser's birthday. There's so much more to it that is just more than that mind-blowing fact. But the fact that I was able to listen to God, listen to the visions, the dreams, be able to break down the math and the science within my own spiritual ascension day, gathering the signs and the syncs that I was getting just because I wanted to heal, because I wanted it so damn bad for myself. I was so damn tired. I was so damn tired of feeling like that on the inside. I was so damn tired of begging someone else to fucking love me. But I forgot to love myself. I forgot to love myself so much that I made myself so sick to the fact that I cannot even intake food some days. I made myself so sick thinking that I was doing what I was doing for love when the number one love up there was telling me, you're making yourself sick. You are so toxic. You are killing yourself on the inside. I don't want that for you. July 28th, I woke up. I woke up a whole new person again. It was like Easter morning flashback. Like I still have who I was between Easter morning until July 28th. July 28th. 7:28. From 4/4. 4/4 was the first day that I woke up. The second time I'm waking up again. And I don't know why. Because in between 4/4 and July 28th, I've had many opportunities that I felt like I leveled up. That I felt like I was ascending. That I felt like I was getting farther away from other people. And then, beginning of July was very stressful. It's my daughter's birthday, but there's a lot of drama going on that day with the best friend who's no longer a best friend because she chose a narc. She chose a narc instead of the people who love her, so, more power to her. She'll learn. And then the next day, there was just so much family drama. And that was when I 8-miled my life on Facebook with my mom. And that was when I finally stood up for myself. I finally spoke because my third eye had opened. I was in the know. I am this person, whether she likes it or not, whether she ever accepts me. I feel this way, whether she ever accepts me, whether she ever feels the same way. And I'm doing this for myself, whether she likes it or not, because I love myself. I love myself and I saw the truth. So I stood up to her. So that was July 7th, July 8th. So 20 days later, it took me to wake up from the first real true test that God had given me after I woke up the first time. And that's what I've been dealing with these last few days. That was last week, so July 28th. 4/4. So what is that? April, May, June, July, and 24 days. 4 months and 24 days. It took me to truly level up again, to wake up again, having this brand new level of the know, having this brand new level of the truth that I've seen, having this brand new level of this divination inside me because I handled those tests with grace. I did not bring myself into the negative emotionally. I held space for them. There was plenty of times where I cried. There was plenty of times where I went to Jason and said, I'm so stressed out, or I just need words of affirmations. I hate that I need reassurance, but I don't need your solution. I just need you to listen to me and comfort me because I'm a big girl. I can handle it. I've never had a partner like Jason who is just there. Even if he doesn't understand it, he doesn't support it, or he supports everything. I mean, if he cannot support it in the way that he spiritually can, he still supports it. He is just everything. And even if he's like, I don't know what to do, or it doesn't make me feel comfortable, I'm still here for you, babe. I'm still here. When my twin flame would run, as soon as I would put fear in my twin flame because he couldn't have a decent conversation with me, he would run. And so now, reflecting back on Jason these last few weeks, it's like I made the right choice again on my spiritual ascension day, May 23rd, because of that. The 23rd. Oh my gosh, number 23 on the 5th month. So 4-4. Four, 523, and 728. Huh. 23 and 28, soul cycle and physical cycle. Huh. So, anyway, another thing that I want to tell you guys really quick before I wrap this up and the next journal entry will come out and all that jazz. I love each and every one of you for being here with me and listening to my experience. Sometimes you guys will see some weird things going on with my face. My eye here, right down here. It looks great now, but when I get really emotionally stressed out, my eye all right down here acts up. There's a spot over here. And now, in this past, since July, when all of that happened until now, it has started to reflect on the opposite side. It crisscrosses, right? Like if my eyes were an hourglass, all of my issue right here, which is the same issue that I have on my hand, but my hand has gone away, and sometimes my hand will still itch and whatnot, but it's my emotionally stressed that comes out on my face the most. And so I've always fought this issue right down here where it gets rough and dry and scaly and it's so itchy and it burns and it's just miserable. And now it is starting up on the other side here. It is just starting to be really scaly and swollen and puffy. And during those couple tests of being emotional and trying to hold my space and, hold my grace, because I don't have any space really, it is now reflected again and it's up over here. So 3 out of 4 spots of my eyes, I'm having emotional stress output on my avenue, my eyes avenue. I am now having negative burdens, negative shadows affect my eyes. And so if you guys see it in my videos, you'll see some darkness here, if I have to rub or scratch my eye, that's just what's going on. And I've been fighting it since last fall, you guys. So I'm not sure how that will ever go away either. But it's only when I'm emotionally stressed. It's only when I'm trying to get past the emotions inside. The difference between April and July, April I woke up in the know. I had the divine with me. I've had to learn everything from day one, from the collapse Riemann Einstein breakdown to the chakras that we just did, right? To everything that I've been going through. And then this time, July 28th, when I woke up, it was like everything on that, everything that I've been going through, plus more. Like, I've now been gaining new intuitive gifts, which I will share along the way. I'm noticing them, and I'm back to the level of how I felt in April and May when I was gaining these gifts. And I showed those videos too about the whole Good Witch in Emerald City, about spiders. Spiders are back at my door. It's just this whole feeling of protection. And now I have these new gifts again, and it's just like, oh, okay, this is weird. Okay, babe, check this out, but don't think I'm crazy. But this is truly my life and truly what is going on. And truly how it happens for somebody. It's very hard for me to accept that's what's going on, but how can I deny it? I can't deny the call, otherwise I'm going to have a spiritual consequence, right? So I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. Sometimes my face looks like, you know, it's miserable sometimes. So if I'm itching a lot, if it just looks really bad one day during these video lessons, please just know that it's me trying to take care of myself, because I killed my body for a long time. And we'll get more into the self-harm and whatnot, but I just wanted you guys to give a little break, get to know where I'm really coming from. It's been really exhausting dealing with this leveling up. I'm very proud of myself though, and I'm able to reflect positively than I would before. It's way easier to do that now since July 28th when I've woken up. It's also much easier to handle my twin flame. I think that's been the biggest change for me. Between April to July 28th, it was still really rocky. I had to make the decision in that 2-week period. I changed my whole heart around between what was right and what was wrong and what was the best for me. And then I was done with it. I was fine. I was able to move on. And then I fought another twin flame tower. And then I was fine and I was able to get past it and move on, even though it caused a little bit of emotional stress. And then right before all that happened, I hit another twin flame tower. And I was getting messages of the yin yang, trying to reconcile, trying to resolve and have closure, and hit to the spot where, okay, I could feel good about leaving this at a good spot. We have never been able to leave it at a good spot. And fortunately for my twin flame and I, there was an opportunity for us to have clear communication, and it didn't work out that way because he's a narc. And it felt like I was attacking him, even though I'm just ready to get it out. I'm just ready to be done. I need to move on because the emotional stress of it is taxing on me, obviously, to the point where it makes me so sick. You know, it doesn't hurt my heart anymore. I just need to get it out. And I wasn't able to. So then I had the emotional stress of no closure, no victory, 31 minutes exactly as I looked at that. Wow, crazy, 31. No victory, no closure, no ending. And now this is how I have to deal with this for the next 21 to 28 years, right? But I still passed the test, and I still got to level up because I handled it with grace. I did the best thing that I could. I tried to resolve it. I tried to, forgiveness has always been there. I forgive my twin flame no matter what, but I won't forget. And now his spiritual consequences, he just added another one, because here God is trying to get two people who are not at peace back together for unity, to have that peace, for us to move on, to be able to do our job descriptions. Jehovah's bringing out huge messages right now that if you guys are having issues between your loved ones, your twin flames, your soulmates, people in your house, it's time to go back and forgive and love. And I want to remind you that no matter how many times that you try that, God and Jehovah, they will see that. And they still allowed me to level up. I woke up again. I woke up again with new intuitive gifts, more visions, more things that I can see in dreams. And it's insane. And I'm so exhausted, but I'm so proud and I'm so happy. And I can't wait for more, to be able to share more with you. So here's my first journal entry. I kind of like it because it gives my mind a break, but I don't want to hide one damn thing from someone who's going through spiritual ego death. So with that being said, do not stress. Stress will kill you. Stress killed my stomach. And I would take it all back to be able to eat normally again, to feel like a normal human being, because I could eat. So just don't stress. I know it's easier said than done, but just remember that anxiety is a silent protest that you're letting win. And it's up to you to hold that space or to blow it away. Distract yourself. Do not keep yourself in that moment, because then that panic will come. If you putting yourself above everybody else, then you're not doing it. When you're allowing this anxiety and this fear, this pain to come in and stay there, and you're holding space for it, and your organs are shutting down. Your organs are suffering. Take care of yourself. Think about all the avenues that you cause self-harm on yourself, including bad thoughts, including remembering what they've said and holding true. Do not approve of what they say. Do not approve of it. Because as soon as you do, you're letting them live in your brain. And only you can prevent forest fires, but only you can prevent negative energy. Okay? Negative energy is all the stress. And I don't want that for you. Sorry, I was listening to something. Anyway, I'm gonna head to bed. I love you, each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to talk, since I'm stuck in my own house and I only see Jason, really, and my best friends. So if you need me, I'm there for you.